series, the Cavalcade of Homebrew radios, is this one. I picked this up at a ham fest last year. Knew immediately it was a homebrew, but I didn't know the pedigree from which it came. This is actually from Popular Mechanics, 1940. This is a 4-tube portable radio. Uses the octal bantam type tubes. Now the finish, I'm not sure. It looks like something that's fairly modern. I'm not sure what to make of that, but whoever may have repainted it or did whatever with it did a pretty nice job with it. Has the standard slide rule dial, 3 knobs. We've got this is volume, on and off is here, and then just our standard tuning. Very nice hefty size speaker. To open it up, you pull this knob, and this little knob actually looks like something that came off a Burgess battery with a kind of set screws to hold a wire down. And it's got this hole cut in the back with some grill cloth. I have no idea what this is all about, but all the same, it's probably for tone or something along those lines. Not really sure. It even has a little cut up here. So I'm wondering if this was for another type of receiver, because this would have been like for a 3-way. You put a wire through here, your AC line. Not really sure, but still a nice cabinet. Could even be a homebrew for all I know. To open it, you have to pull that open, and unfortunately that's not going to happen. I have to do this two-handed, so I'll be right back. Undoing the back reveals this chassis, and this was how I was able to find out that this was from Popular Mechanics, because of the way the speaker terminals and the battery distribution terminals are done. They're all little screws, as you can see here. 2 for the A, 2 for the B, and then they have 2 for the speaker itself. So I checked out a little more, and yes indeed, it is the Popular Mechanics magazine's version, right down to the loop antenna. This is unrestored. In this series, we are going to restore it in this episode altogether. By the way, take a look at the vintage Utah speaker. Whoever made this also added a little card in here. Tells what everything is and what it's supposed to do. And the only other thing I've got to do is I'm going to restore it back to original style batteries, so I'm going to put the plugs back on. And from the Mad Clutter, which is called my workbench, we will start on the set. First thing we need to do, remove these 3 knobs. That's going to involve a set screw, which is on each one of these. With that bolt removed, the chassis is free, so the next thing I need to do is get these 4 screws off and remove the speaker. Alright, chassis and speaker are now removed from the cabinet. Speaker had a small tear. Went ahead and put a little white glue just to hold that in place. I'm going to now turn it upside down to protect the cone from anything from happening. Let me check it. Nope, no scratchiness, so the pole's in good shape. Now we'll take a look at the chassis at hand. I undid the speaker terminals and moved the speaker over to another place where it'd be safe. Here is the chassis. Got a light patina of surface rust on it. I don't think I'm going to do anything with this. I'm going to just leave it as it is, just to leave the age and such on it. You can see where each tube has been marked. And let me look at this. Oh, that's still in good shape. The rubber on here, I'm not going to worry about it. This is a cloth covered one. I'm not too concerned about that. Beautiful dial, I might add. All in all, pretty good shape. Pretty nice layout. He bent it pretty good. The only difference here that I see is the output tube. It's a 1A5 here, and the original article recommended a 1Q5, so this must have been what he could find, and he modified it as such. So, on to the underside now and see what shape this is in. Here's the underside, and the one thing I notice almost immediately, somebody's been in here before me. And what I mean by that is, at one point, it must have been, quote, restored, recapped, because there's a couple of these larger, they're probably Bakelite impregnated paper capacitors, and there's an Almenco, and I think those were popular in the 60s, and then there's an orange drop here. But this gives you an idea of what the original chassis was put together as. Somebody spot welded the bracket to hold these in place. And you can see here all the, I can feel the ridges here. This is very uneven where they had cut. You can see the battery terminals are along here. And this is the cable. Look what they did. They went through all the detail. They laced it all together. I just got to put new plugs on here. So I don't think I'm going to derust it. I'm going to leave it as it is, because it's in good enough shape. And I don't think it's going to interfere in any way, shape, or form with the performance of this set. And besides that, by the looks of it, some of it is the plating's removed. So I don't want to mess with that unless I really have to. I'm going to go ahead and replace these capacitors with some new ones. Clean up and touch up some of the joints and such. So I'm going to pull the schematic out from the original magazine article, and we'll restore this thing to the way it should be. Alright, all the paper capacitors have been removed. And the odd thing was, where that Almenco cap was actually supposed to be a lytic. So I went ahead and put it in. And at this point, the only thing I need to do is to put some plugs on the ends of these. And then we can fire this old girl up and see what it does. Alright, I have an A battery hooked up with a plug. I haven't put a plug on these yet because I haven't decided what I'm going to do in terms of batteries yet, but I've got 9 volts. That's good enough. That's close to 90. Got the speaker hooked up. Moment of truth, shall we? Here we go. We have a signal. Wonderful. Weak as a sick cat. Probably needs a good tuning up, so I'm going to go ahead and let me find a diddle stick here, see if I can do this by ear, bring this up a bit, and I think I'll carry you with me. So hold on a minute, let me get a diddle stick. I had to set the pointer. It was way off, it was over here, so I went ahead and adjusted it and tweaked all the trimmers. WLW is now coming in better. Not very sensitive. It's better. But everything's coming in. Got a pretty good sound to it, I have to admit. I think it can still be tweaked on the antenna side, so I'm going to give that one more time, and then I'm thinking about making some battery covers for this particular unit. Well, this is the next day. I went ahead and replaced some tubes. I just went and grabbed my quick tube checker. And it's nothing special, it's just emissions, but found the ones that were a little bit stronger than what were in here, and as a result, oh, she's a lot perkier on the lower end. lot of noise, but hey, I don't care. Now, I have no idea what the hell that is. But I'm just pleased that I'm getting sound like this. Because originally I wasn't getting anything at all. So now it's time. Put this thing on a meter and get my 90 volt power supply and give this thing a good laboratory alignment. Okay, let's give this thing a quick demonstration. It's all set to go. Turn it on. Now you're going to hear a lot of static crashes and a lot of thunderstorms and everything outside. It's not capacitors or anything like that. That's actually lightning. So we'll start on the low end of the band. Tuning's still a little stiff than I'd like to have it, but it works. I think that's WSM.
Foam mattresses can provide you with the comfort.
All right, there's WLW 700
to get a good night's sleep, but they aren't for everyone.
WGN, that's who that is, 720. Originally, I wasn't even able to get any of these stations. Not sure who that is.
More than 125.
That's a local station, that's WXLW.
This is Dr. Greg Oliver with Freedom Stop Smoking. We can help you quit for good. Mother, Garcia drugged the girl and drove her to a house in Compton where he locked her in a garage. Cops say over the coming months he provided the girl with fake IDs and used physical and emotional abuse to...
Now, I don't get into editorials or anything like that, in my opinion, but have you heard about this story about the guy who kidnapped this girl, kept her for 10 years? There's a guy who's a candidate for a bullet implant. They need to just shoot this guy. Don't even bother. If he's guilty, kill him. Don't give him a trial. Well, I'm sorry, give him a trial. Don't give him any appeals. If he's guilty, kill him. I have no use for people like that. Family is sacred. You start messing with family, you screw with the order.
And for that too, they may in fact be able to save everything.
Stuff like that just pisses me off.
And this is a call worth making. Commodore's Advisor Group, 1-800...
Let's see, we'll keep going here. Not sure what that is. It might make 1070. It's got a very good tone because the speaker's like this big. It's a big speaker.
This year, our new report tells the story. I'm David Mark, and I have the privilege of sitting in for Andy today. And tomorrow for that.
And that's when we realized we had an incredible...
As a ripoff for you, I'm going to tell you what to look out for, trying to take advantage of you. And a half hour from now, speaking of taking...
I think that was WHBU.
Game ended in 13 innings.
WNDE.
Across the street to the bar. Murphy's Bleacher.
The clouds will move. It's time we will smile again.
1310.
Come on, Sean.
Listen to how good that is. Like I said, big speaker, you get big tone. Wish this dial were a little bit freer, but...
We can still watch him and see if he develops into someone who may get it.
This could use a good vernier, but it's still direct tuning.
rifle they bought, all the cool accoutrements of
That's his first.
14:30. Now we're getting on the edge. That's the end. That's the Spanish station. That's the high end of the band. It's got a good sound. I don't know if there's anything beyond that. Besides static. Nope, that's it. So, as you can hear, pretty good selection of stations. Low band is still a little low, but it's a lot better than what it was. So, I'm pretty happy with it. So, let me put it back on the put on a music station again. So, this is it. It's not bad for a homebrew, I'll say that about it. Once again, this is the 1940 Popular Science. I gotta remember the name of it here. 1940 Popular Science loop-operated battery portable. Seen here, April 1940.